All right, so today we're going to be reacting to MoistCr1tiKal's Star Wars tier list. So without further ado, let's get into it.
I honestly wouldn't recommend the new trilogy to even my worst enemy. I think they're just bad movies.
The first one,
Great start. Right off the bat, great start. This is bodes well for us.
that first one is A New Hope. Star Wars movie made in like 1977. What do you think? Where would you put that?
I haven't seen the original trilogy since college, so it's been like 6 years for me. I really liked rewatching them. New Hope wasn't my favorite, though. I think it's very good, but my favorite was actually Return of the Jedi.
Whoa, okay.
Yep.
That is a hot take. Everyone and their mother knows it goes Empire, New Hope, Return of the Jedi. I think that's pretty standard ranking, but you know what? We'll see.
All right, so A New Hope.
But
would
you-
go in
yeah.
A for me. It would go not at the top, but yeah,
Beatbox Jar Jar.
And the reason why is I think it sets up the universe pretty well. It's got an interesting story, and it was like ahead of its time in terms of like effects and stuff. Yeah, I just think it's an impressive movie for the time.
Episode 2, you and I actually watched the new trilogy not too long ago. You fucking hated this movie. I liked it. I thought it was fun.
Oh my god, it's an F tier for me. But you
No.
explain your-
F tier Attack of the Clones. See, this is why I don't like that he's doing with like two or just a friend. Like I don't like that he's doing a tier list with his friend on the call with him because I want to hear his opinions. Like he's the YouTuber with like what 15? Yeah, 14.3 million subscribers. I want to hear his opinions. But it sounds like he liked Attack of the Clones and his friend's trying to drag him down. So we'll see where
It's
it goes.
Corden for me. I mean, Jar Jar
You
Corden.
would Jar Jar Corden this?
It is. If there was a tier below Jar Jar Corden, it would be going there.
You
But
make me say, Jackson, you didn't even dislike it that much. You're just trying to appease the hardcore Star Wars fans. It's
no,
not
don't you
that
dare
bad.
besmirch my
And then
name.
they have Yoda fight Count Dooku.
Based scene. Charlie's a legend for that one. That is a based scene. Count Dooku Yoda fight, one of the top 10 Star Wars fights for sure. But yeah, Jar Jar is a pretty good place to put it, I would say. Pretty good place for Attack of the Clones.
What about the fact that Natalie Portman is like totally fine with Anakin slaughtering a whole city, and they fall in love just like
Yeah,
that for no reason?
But they killed his mommy. She's like, you know what? I'd probably do the same thing too. I'd commit genocide if that happened to me too.
He died immediately as soon as he showed up. Who's to say he didn't kill her?
Well, that's an interesting theory, I suppose.
That's the worst theory I've ever heard. What do you mean did Anakin kill her? He took her off like whatever she was hanging off of and she died in his arms. That's an awful theory. Charlie's just pandering his friend.
If it was me, I'd put it in night. This would be
Really?
yeah.
You loved it when we watched it.
I liked it.
Stop something.
I would probably not put it at night. I think Jar Jar's a pretty good spot for it, but you could argue that it's low night because I think it's better than Phantom Menace personally. So that's what I'd say.
Good big smile on my face for most of that movie. I had a goofy grin. I thought it was super fun. And it's even important in today's society, Jackson, because now we have the meme from it where it's you're gonna help, right? Right? You remember that meme with the
That's a valid point. The memes that came out of that movie are like, I don't know, 0.8% of the culture that we have today, or at least I have today, because, I see that stuff more than a lot of people do. So I got to give that movie some props. The memes that came out of it, kind of fire. There were some good memes, so Charlie made a valid point there.
What's next?
Rebels. I've never seen this. You've seen this, I
It's
guess.
it's a children's show. It's pretty standard. I think it's worse than Clone Wars. I'd put it in Jar Jar as well.
Definitely worse than Clone Wars. Children's show, hey look, I still can't be talking because the comments are going to kill me. I still have not watched seasons 3 and 4, which I just hear on the through the grapevine, save the show. I hear they're really good. So I still need to watch that, and until then, I feel very uncomfortable ranking this anywhere because last time I did, you guys destroyed me in the comments. My self-esteem took a blow.
I wouldn't say it's like super bad or anything, but it's not to the same level as like Clone Wars in my mind.
Okay, then I'll keep it in night. And you haven't seen this one, right?
No, I don't. I don't know what that one is.
I'll-
No one's seen Resistance. Again, I haven't watched it, so I really shouldn't say anything about it. But I'm just gonna say, probably not that good. I'm just saying, if I had to estimate, if you put a gun to my head and said, what do you think of the show? Probably not that good. Probably not that phenomenal. But maybe it's great. I don't know. So, I'm just gonna stay with them on this. I'm just gonna, don't really know. But given that it's Resistance, I'm just gonna assume that it's not that good.
I'll just put it in Jar Jar Corden because it's for kids and Star Wars is
Yeah.
not meant for kids, it's for adults.
Roll the clip.
It's hard for people to realize, and I'm not supposed to say this, and I wasn't supposed to say it then, but, it's a film for 12-year-olds.
Okay, I know. Star Wars is for everyone. Star Wars is for 12-year-olds, Star Wars is for 30-year-olds, Star Wars is for 60-year-olds. I know. But it is kind of funny Charlie saying Star Wars is not for kids when George Lucas himself said Star Wars is for kids.
Return of the Jedi, baby.
I fucking love Return of the Jedi. This is the most hated in the original trilogy, though, right?
It is the worst of the original trilogy. You know, I love the Jabba the Hutt scene. I love that intro scene. I think it's so cool. Doesn't make a lot of sense. Still cool. Ewoks, you know, people hate them. I kind of take them or leave them. I think the whole Endor Forest Moon scene is not terrible. I kind of think it's a fun battle. I think the really, really, really good stuff in the movie is in the throne room. So that's what's good about the movie. However, of the three originals, still the worst. I gotta say it's the worst.
I fucking like Return of the Jedi.
What's your favorite part about it?
I just like how everything culminates at the end. I think it's just a very satisfying movie. Like, there's no real complaints I have about Return of the Jedi.
My complaint is the Ewoks. Like, just
I love the... What? You just hate fun. You literally just hate fun.
You just hate fun. Charlie gets it. I don't think the Ewoks are that bad. I really don't. Are they annoying? Yeah, sometimes. There's a whole scene where they're trying to roast Han Solo and Luke Skywalker over the fire, kind of drag on. Totally. But is the battle with them kind of cool? I would say so. I think it's pretty fun. That's just me. And Charlie, apparently. So.
I think A tier for Return of the Jedi.
Well, yeah, I mean, Star Wars fans would have our heads if we put that at Darth Jar Jar, I think. I understand.
All right. At least I gotta give it to him. At least he gets it. At least he gets it.
It's just I don't think it's S tier for me, at least.
For what it's worth, it is my dad's favorite Star Wars movie. I told my dad I was making a video where I ranked every Star Wars movie, and his first question was, "You put Return of the Jedi at the top, right?" And I go, "Sorry, Dad. Sorry to break it to you, but I have to. It is not the best Star Wars movie." And he looked very disappointed. But he's also not like a diehard Star Wars fan. He just enjoyed Star Wars as a kid. So, you know, it means a lot to him. He saw it in theaters. He saw it with his dad. I kind of understand where he's coming from. And I really like the movie. But it's not the best. So, Jedward Dad L in the comments, if you will.
Here we go.
This is
gonna be controversial.
I love Revenge of the Sith.
This is S tier for me.
I fucking love you.
I think Revenge of the Sith is S tier. I really like Revenge of the Sith. I think it's second best Star Wars movie.
So good. Like,
It is
set
so good.
set aside George Lucas's goofiness. Just
Yep.
throw that shit away. Every element in that movie I thought was a great idea, even if executed poorly.
So from that trilogy, though, I think Revenge of the Sith is the most cohesive movie.
Mhm.
It's got
Absolutely.
the strongest elements, and it feels like a solid story.
Without a
You
question.
have really cool emotional moments, and it's not held down by the previous two movies, which is good.
Absolutely. And I just thought of the biggest, goofiest thing, the fucking ending. I'm sure we can spoil the ending by now.
Oh yeah.
Where she's like, she's actually totally fine, but she's lost her will to live.
That is goofy. I can't believe they couldn't think of a better reason for her dying than she's lost her will to live. I mean, Darth Maul got his legs cut off and he survived. She was in a prime medical condition. She has lost the will to live. The frick's wrong with you? This is Star Wars. You got all the medical technology available to you in the galaxy. She just lost the will to live. Get out of here. Freaking losers.
Oh, it's so good.
Ewan
S tier.
McGregor also carries the fuck out of the acting in that movie.
Did he just say Ewan McGregor? Anyone worth their salt knows it's Ewan McGregor. Points taken off, Charlie. Points taken off.
All right. Well, let's not get ahead of ourselves. I think what's his name? What's Anakin's actor's name?
Hayden Christensen.
Hayden, yeah. I think he.
No
I think
comment.
He was pretty bad in Attack of the Clones, but I think he brought it home for the third
He
movie.
did really well there, but I still think Ewan McGregor is the most likable part about the prequels.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
You and I differ heavily on this next one, though. Where
Rogue
do you want
One.
Rogue One.
Yeah, this is an A tier for me. love Rogue One.
I couldn't fucking stand Rogue One. I found
What?
I
Did we
found
watch it together?
What? Everyone likes Rogue One. Rogue One's like one of the top 5 Star Wars movies, I would say. Like, pretty confidently. How does he not like that one, but he likes Attack of the Clones? That's my question. Because I think Rogue One's way better than Attack of the Clones.
I found it to be very boring, and I really just didn't find it to be super satisfying. I like the ending because they bring in Darth Vader and he's super cool. But the
Everyone likes that end. Everyone likes that ending scene. That's not controversial.
And I liked it. It's an A tier for me.
All right, we're gonna meet in the middle at B tier then at Master because I would have given it Knight at best. I like Solo, but I don't think it's a good Star Wars movie. What do you think about Solo?
Solo would be going in Master for me, so B tier.
That's even a little higher than I would have given it, and I actually like the movie.
That is interesting. It's interesting that he puts Rogue One on the same tier as Solo, because I think Rogue One's way better. I think Solo's like 7th, 8th. I can't remember where I put it in my ranking, but it's like 7th or 8th on the list. It's not that high. I thought it was better than a lot of Star Wars fans think it is, but even still, like, Master's a little high for Solo. I'd probably put it at Knight.
It seems like a literal side quest that you would have experienced at some point in a video game like the Star Wars MMO.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair, but at the same time, it's Han Solo's journey. Han Solo is the character who got developed. It's his journey from Corellia to, you know, actually getting out into the galaxy, meeting Chewbacca, meeting Lando. So there's more to it than just it's a random side quest. Because for Han Solo, it's his origin story. That being said, the things the movie did badly was that they made Han Solo kind of a too nice of a guy right off the bat when he definitely shouldn't have been. So
I think it's fine.
Actually, I'd be fine with B tier now that I see that. Yeah, I think I'd be fine with B tier, to be fair.
You can't put it on Rogue One level. Rogue One's a better movie. It goes Knight or maybe Jar Jar, but probably Knight. I think Knight's a good place for it.
What's this? Clone Wars?
I'm going to talk.
No way. He's including the Clone Wars movie, guys. You know what that means? You can stop pestering me in my comments about including the Clone Wars movie in my videos. Because the Clone Wars movie is in a video that I'm making. Holy cow, Batman. Alright, now that I have the opportunity to talk about the Clone Wars movie, on this list, I would probably put it in Jar Jar. I do not like the Clone Wars movie. It's just a big, long Clone Wars episode. And the movie itself, it's not that good. Because the Clone Wars episodes are good as episodes. They're not meant to be movies. It doesn't work that well as a movie. It doesn't flow that well. There's like 3 separate plots going on. And they don't really line up that well with each other. I'd put it in Jar Jar, probably. That's just my personal opinion. Now you have it, and you can stop bugging me about it. No, I'm just kidding. I really don't mind when you guys bug me about it in the comments. I think it's kind of funny. I think it's kind of like a channel joke at this point. Where's the Clone Wars movie? But now you know.
Oh, is this the Clone Wars movie?
I didn't know there was a movie.
The movie was so fucking bad. Holy shit.
The movie was awful. The movie was so bad. And most people know that.
So bad.
Is that Jar Jar Corden?
Yeah, that's Jar Jar Corden.
It was pretty bad.
Okay. Matt and I talked about the Clone Wars. I don't remember liking the Clone Wars that much.
Man, Charlie is just getting some absolute W's and some absolute L's. Like Attack of the Clones not that bad. W. Clone Wars being bad. L. Like, how do you watch the entire Clone Wars show and say it's a bad movie or a bad show? I would put it in Jar Jar. I think as shows go, it is the best Star Wars show by far, and it is on the level. You know, it's kind of weird putting shows and movies on the same list, but it is on the Jar Jar level. So that's what I'd say.
So you're right. The first maybe 2 seasons are a bit of a slog to get through. But
Okay, first 2 seasons aren't great. I'll give it that. They're kind of, you know, a slog. But they're not awful. Like, you can watch them and still enjoy them. There's some corny, kiddie, campy moments. They're kind of PG, but they're not awful. And then, as soon as Season 3 hits, Season 3 on is just phenomenal. Just some of the best Star Wars you get. Some of the best world building. Makes the entire prequels better because it adds on to all these characters. Brings in Ahsoka, brings in Rex, Cad Bane, Darth Maul, all these characters. You just can't overlook how monumental it was.
overall, I'd actually give it an A.
Yeah, I was going to say A.
S. Dark Jar Jar.
It's got to at least be Master, but I would say beatbox Jar Jar.
Yeah, it'll be beatbox Jar Jar. Then you wouldn't put it up there with Darth Jar Jar?
I would not.
I would.
Empire Strikes Back.
One right answer.
S tier for me.
One right
Yeah,
answer.
S-tier. So good.
One right answer.
Matt.
It's a classic. S tier.
First time I watched it, I would agree with you, S tier, but I just have watched them so recently that they just feel like such shitty movies, which is really hard to say.
That's wild. That's so wild. This is why I wish that Charlie didn't have these random people on the stream. I just want to hear Charlie's opinion. I just want to hear what MoistCr1tiKal thinks. You know, Jesus himself. No sacrilegious stuff there, but like the long hair, you know, the jokes. I just want to hear what he thinks. I don't care about, what is his name, Jackson, Matt. Great people, I'm sure. Don't really care about their opinions that much.
I don't think Star Wars would have survived without it.
Yeah, that movie slapped when it came out.
That's true.
I watched that movie. I like it a lot. I still prefer Return of the Jedi, but I think Empire Strikes Back is the most important movie.
Yeah.
I agree.
S tier, for sure.
I think
This one is Force
now we get
Awakens.
into some.
Here's my prediction. I think they're going to take The Force Awakens, and I think they're going to put it Knight Master Beatbox Jar Jar, because I think they're, you know, they're not huge Star Wars fans, so they don't know all the lore. I'm sure they didn't like the sequels, because not a lot of people did, but I'm sure they think Force Awakens is pretty good, and I'm sure they're going to put it in the middle to maybe a little higher on the list. That's my prediction. Maybe I'm wrong. Let's see.
Some controversial stuff.
This isn't controversial. I mean, this is the new trilogy. The only almost decent new trilogy movie is The Force Awakens.
Agreed.
It is the only one with any redeeming qualities. Finn, I think, could have been a super interesting character, and they just fucking threw him away for nothing.
True.
I loved him.
That guy's voice sounded so heartbroken when he sounded I loved him. He was like, I loved him. Yeah. That was actually kind of funny.
I'd be fine with B, though. B or C is fine with me.
C.
I honestly can't decide.
It's not a B
It'll
movie.
have to be up to you two. I'm saying B or C.
I'm content with C. I think it's definitely the best of the new trilogy, but it's not that great.
Yep.
It really isn't. All right, who's ready for the next one?
Yeah!
I wonder how divisive this is going to be between us.
I think this is one of the worst movies I've ever seen.
Which one is it?
Let's go! Charlie W. Last Jedi is the worst Star Wars movie by far. Everyone knows it. It has like a 40% on Rotten Tomatoes, which is awful. That's a Charlie W. I really, really, really am not going to be happy if his friend says, I loved it. I thought it was so cool. I thought it was great.
I think this is a Corden all fucking day.
You see, this is going to be divisive. I think it's on the same tier as Attack of the Clones. Then I think it's Jar Jar.
No
I
fucking
don't-
way.
How do you think? How do you think it's better, or on the same level as Attack of the Clones? I don't understand that. I don't understand how you can even like remotely like Star Wars and watch this movie and think to yourself, "Oh, that was all right." I really don't. And if you do like it, hey, great. I'm glad you got something out of it. I'm glad you enjoyed it.
The final movie is far worse. I think the final movie
Okay, I will concede the final movie is a lot worse, but I felt so personal.
No, I think Last Jedi is worse. I see this a lot. I think Last Jedi is worse than The Rise of Skywalker because The Rise of Skywalker did a few things right. The Rise of Skywalker tried at least a little bit to bring back some of the characters. It tries to redeem Luke a little bit. It tries to redeem Han Solo because Rian Johnson absolutely screwed them over. So it tried to redeem them a little bit, and I like that. I actually do like that. And also another thing Rise of Skywalker did right. They introduced Claude. This is Claude. He's in The Rise of Skywalker. He's cool. Stupid Claude.
The only cool thing about that movie, I think, was that as well as Kylo Ren. I think Kylo Ren was cool throughout the entire trilogy.
Yeah, Kylo Ren's, I think, an interesting character. I think Ben Solo.
I think Kylo Ren, they ruined Kylo Ren. Kylo Ren was cool for half of The Force Awakens, then he becomes whiny, wishy-washy, flip-flops back and forth. Is he good? Is he bad? He doesn't know. Can't figure anything out. He's just not a good villain, and he's not a good hero. Like, he could have been a good villain. Like, an actually genuinely good villain if they made him stronger and more intimidating. But they didn't. He's whiny. He's, like, crying when he takes his helmet off. He takes his helmet off all the time. There's just, like, this and that and this and that, and it all just compounds to make an uninteresting, boring villain, I think. And then he wasn't a good hero either. I can't believe these movies are real. I really can't.
I love Mandalorian.
Good movie, good show.
Mandalorian is-
Here's the thing: when they say the Mandalorian is 3 seasons. Season 1, great show. Like season 1 is an amazing season, but then it gets worse. Season 2, it's a little bit worse. It gets kind of weird, funky, becomes more and more solo missions, like episodes just trying to kill time. Season 3 was just bad. Like season 3 was just downright bad. Destroy the Darksaber. Moff Gideon comes back. They had no real plan. It was a bunch of random side quests that didn't amount to anything. Total time killers of episodes. But season 1 was great. I'll give them that.
It's got to be an S tier for me.
It's got to be Darth Jar Jar.
I agree. That show.
I would never in a million years put it above Clone Wars. Personally, Clone Wars trumps every single time.
It was.
I
so
think it's single-handedly, well, along with Fallen Order, it like saved Star Wars for me because after the trilogy, just beating it to death in front of my eyes, it was just nice to have something.
This guy gets it.
It was a public flogging of the Star Wars property by Disney. It was rough.
These guys get it. Absolutely, just putting Star Wars out there. Don't think, just consume product and get ready to consume new product. That was literally the sequel trilogy. That was literally it.
This might get divisive. I like Phantom Menace a lot.
Phantom Menace.
I think it's great. I think it's very good. I think the hate
Yeah,
that it
it's-
gets is overblown.
I think Phantom Menace is worse than Force Awakens. That's a hot take in the Star Wars community. I got some flack on my video for saying that. I thought it was a worse movie than The Force Awakens. I think the bright spots of the movie are Qui-Gon Jinn, Obi-Wan Kenobi, and Darth Maul, and all 3 of those are criminally underused. I really do not like Kid Anakin. I think there were better ways to tell a story. I did not like the pod racing. I thought the CGI was abhorrent. I really didn't like the CGI. I hated the Gungans and Jar Jar Binks. I thought they were goofy attempts to appease to children. I did not like it. So I'm actually a little surprised to hear him say he liked it very much.
I think it's a good movie.
The only part I really love is like the end with Duel of the Fates.
Everyone loves that.
You know,
Great
Maul
part of the
fighting
movie. Phenomenal.
Qui-Gon.
Probably one of the best fights in the series, though.
Yeah,
I
for sure.
agree. But I don't love the whole rest of it really.
I definitely see the problems the movie had. Like, for sure, it's not like a great movie, but I still think it's a good enough movie, and I think it sets it up pretty well.
And finally, I think we can all agree this one goes in Jar Jar Corden as well.
This is Jar Jar Corden.
Absolutely garbage movie.
This is a Jar.
Trash. Rise of Skywalker, I think it's a tiny bit better than Last Jedi, but it's still garbage. Still belongs in Jar Jar Corden. And here's the thing. MoistCr1tiKal has another 12 minutes left in this video. Like another whopping 12 minutes. And I don't really want to watch all that since he already put Rise of Skywalker down in Jar Jar Corden. And I know he's going to keep it there because I can skip ahead on this scanner thing. So I think we're going to call it there. This is MoistCr1tiKal's final tier list. For the most part, I think it's pretty good. Has some disagreements, has some things I don't like, has some things I do like. So it's kind of on and off, back and forth. you can watch my video where I ranked every Star Wars movie right here. And I think you really like that, so check that out right now. And if you like this video, let me know in the comments and subscribe if you enjoyed. Thank you very much, and I really appreciate it. Thanks for watching.